think we have to recognize that actually being pessimistic in some ways is the natural response to the crisis that we're in, because it's really bad. I think for me, I feel like if all we talk about though is about collapse and extinction and disasters, it doesn't mobilize us to build something different. You know, what the climate scientists demand of us, what the physics demands of us, is that we reimagine everything: our food system, our education system, our transport system, our energy system. Everything needs to be completely reimagined. So that requires us to, I think, to cultivate a longing for a different kind of a future. And that's the work of imagination and music and storytelling and poetry and art and all those things that can awaken that kind of longing. Whenever we talk about the climate emergency, we should also be talking about the delicious promise of the future that we could still create. That feels really, really important to me. All great activism, all activism that we do is imagination. The Walida Imarisha, who's an amazing black activist in America, she says, all organizing is science fiction. So when we are coming together with other people to try and change the world, we are telling a different story. And we all need to become so much better at telling really, really great stories, I think. So what I see when I do workshops with people around this work about imagination is that often people feel like their imaginations are really stuck. There's something, school is not good for our imaginations mostly. Often our work life isn't really very good for our imagination, doesn't really welcome our imagination, doesn't invite our imagination. We live lives that are very, very busy and there's very little space for it. Our collective imagination muscle should be like this. It's actually like this, and that's really, really serious. So the beautiful thing that I find when I work with people to reconnect to and rediscover their imagination is that it feels great. It's really good fun. It's a part of ourselves that we really love, that ability to tell stories and to be creative and imaginative. So I've never met anybody yet who I've worked with to expand the imagination of them, their organization or whatever, who've then said, that was terrible. I feel really bad now that I'm being more imaginative. It doesn't work like that. So I think when it comes to an organization like Danone, Mariame Kaba, who's an amazing prison abolition activist in America, she says, we live in a system that has been locked into a false sense of inevitability. And a company like Danone can move at a scale that those of us who work at a community level really can't even dream of. You know, we don't have access to the resources, we don't have necessarily the professional expertise that is needed. I think a company like Danone needs to be really, really truthful about the emergency that we're in. In the talk I just said, no yogurt on a dead planet. Just taking little steps and changing a few things and moving a bit of money here into sustainable finance is not enough anymore. But I think it starts by creating a space within the organization for a really honest, really ambitious conversation about the extent to which the whole thing could really be reimagined. Because as I said in the talk, you know, I feel like if the ideas we come up with don't feel a bit ridiculous, then they're not ambitious enough.